Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to contribute to this series put together by ND International on climate change and environment, broadly focusing on international outlets. I want to focus on the work that I do, my research on water, and today I want to share some thoughts on women and water governance, looking at some of the current issues and new things we are learning within this space. So I want to cover water access challenges, particularly in Africa, look at the role that women and girls play and how water access challenges affect them. But more importantly, also talk about why women's participation in water governance remains very low, despite the important role they play around water in the domestic and community spheres. So globally, we know that nearly 2.2 billion people are without access to safe water, and sub-Saharan Africa remains a region that constitutes about half of this number when you think about it. And the challenge falls disproportionately on women and girls who every day have to wake up early morning, have to walk long distances, have to join long queues, and have to fetch water almost non-negotiably because families often expect that women and girls will be the ones fetching water. And in sub-Saharan Africa, this is a big issue because over 70% of the population do not have water at home. So to get water, you have to go where the water is. In an urban environment that tends to be very crowded, we know that fetching water exposes women to a lot of environmental risk. We know from the literature and from my own work that women on their way to fetch water are often prone to attacks. They are prone to gender-based violence and attacks. People have been raped on their way to fetching water. But the newer aspects of the literature also indicates that the effect of water insecurity on women extends beyond just the physical body. It has implications for women's mental health. So we know that there are a lot of psychosocial impacts on women as they worry about where to get water, as they worry about how to juggle the responsibilities around water fetching with other domestic responsibilities that they have to perform, for example, cleaning. However, despite this burden, big burden that disproportionately falls on women, women's participation in water governance is very low. And a lot of my work has been trying to understand why women aren't participating even as they should in water governance. And I will share some of my work from Malawi. The unfortunate paradox is that globally, there have been so many efforts to try to incorporate women's voices in water governance. Examples are the Dublin Conference in 1992, the Water and Sanitation Decade by the United Nations. There have been a lot of movements around decentralization, gender mainstreaming. And then the Millennium Development Goals and now the current Sustainable Development Goals have all, one way or another, emphasized the need to plan water with women, the need to harness the knowledge that women have. But progress, unfortunately, has been very slow. So in Malawi, since 2006, they started community water user associations, and part of my PhD work since 2011 has been trying to understand why men dominate these water user associations, using a lot of interviews with women, trying to understand their own views about water governance and why they are reluctant to be part of water governance. So I will share a few thoughts from this work that I've been doing in Malawi, which of course is generalizable also to other parts of Africa and other developing regions where water access remains a big issue. So the first important dynamic is education. Women's and men's education, we see a lot of disparities. So women are often in many ways reluctant because they know they are less educated than men, or that they do not have the technical knowledge enough to contribute to water governance or discussions around water. But what's important that I found in my work is that women are actually interested in participating in water governance, but in situations where they are interested, there are a lot of obstacles in their way that often hamper or prevent them. And a lot of these obstacles tend to be sociocultural in nature, that in a gathering where there are a lot of men, that women cannot be in those spaces. So in other words, water governance tends to be very masculine in nature in the way it is presented. In addition, there are also issues with the things or the responsibilities women have at home. So usually to serve on a water user association, you have to be able to attend meetings. You have to be able to devote time, countless hours. And women often do not have that time because they are either attending to babies, they are attending to their family's needs. And so these obstacles often stand in the way. In conclusion, what I will say is that whilst we have a lot of initiatives that are aimed at incorporating women into water governance, merely having initiatives on paper has never been enough. We need to be more active in removing the barriers that hinder women from participating in water governance. Because we know that when they are able to participate, that they get empowered, that it strengthens their voices, that women are able to solve water problems. And by doing so, it creates more room, hours, time that they can then channel into other economic ventures. Thank you for this opportunity to share. I look forward to the live session where I will unpack these results and my own work around women and water even more. Thank you.